weakened anchors that has been, we have actually gone and found these kind of anchors in various places all over the world, and people, please send it to us. And once you subject it to the tests in the laboratory, then you find that they have broken even with 1 kilonewton of load. And see, if you look at it, there is no sign of cracking anywhere. It's all perfect. Everywhere is perfect. So little cracks, you can see the ones after breaking, this crack is visible. But before breaking, there is no crack which is visible. So this is some kind of research that is being done by the UIAA Safety Commission. This is may not have some direct impact on you, but it is good to know this, that this kind of research is being done, and the equipment which ultimately is certified, is after all the research only you arrive at these standards. One thing that I wanted to let you know also is that whenever you are looking at any equipment, buying any new equipment, or somebody maybe is coming, your client, etc., is coming with some equipment from other different parts of the world, then what you should look at is, particularly if it is new equipment, look at the documentation. Look at sometimes what happens is that people say that, okay, this equipment is going for some expedition in Nepal. Let's not bother too much about it. Let's send it. Let's take it over there. And then you realize that this equipment may have been recalled. But how do you recall? Means the manufacturer would have recalled it into the for some other maybe modifications, or for giving a fresh equipment. So all these recalls, etc., if you go to the UIAA website, then you will be able to see that where the recall is. If you have any doubt about your equipment, go to the UIAA website and check the recalls. You can also check the blacklist. Now, this blacklist is, we find a lot of equipment which is being sold on Amazon or other online sites where which are not certified, and people are falsely putting that UIAA label, safety label. You have to be very careful about that equipment. And if you have any doubt, you should go and check whether there is a blacklist or not. So some of the equipment manufacturers, which you must have seen, I'm quite sure you have seen all these equipment being used, like Camp, like Cassin, like Bial, all good ropes. Petzl, everybody is familiar with Petzl. Then Simon, then Saleva, even Kailas or Mammoth, or Singing Rock, or Grivel. Grivel makes good, very good crampons. Or Edelrid, Edelrid has got helmets, they've got harnesses. And then DMM, a British company, they make some very good rock climbing equipment, pitons, etc. Then Cassin, or Austrialpin, or Arterix, or Stubai. Stubai also makes some good climbing hardware. So these are the equipment which one should be aware of, and all the information about all this equipment is available on the UIAA website. You just have to go and type the equipment directory. There's a specific page I will show you a little later. I will send you the link to that page, and you can go and check over there whether the equipment that you are buying is the certified equipment or not. So this is the safety label which I am talking about. This is the safety label which you must look for whenever you're buying any PPE. So PPE stands for personal protection equipment. So personal protection equipment is like helmets, harness, your eye sacks, your crampon, then the ropes, the pitons, the carabiners, jumars, all this comes under the safety equipment. Any PPE, personal protection equipment, anything which is which can cause any danger to you. That means it may cause some injury if that is not correct. That is known as PPE. Like for example, I mean, it's important to have good sleeping bag, but sleeping bag is not PPE. It is or if you're talking about a tent or something, it's not PPE. But PPE is the personal equipment that you're using, which protects your life. That is the meaning of PPE. So whenever you are using any kind of PPE, it is very important that you look for the UIA safety label. So this was a brief introduction about the safety label. I think is important that you ask questions, whatever doubts you've got in your mind about equipment and about how to be sure that the equipment is right. Then I will answer all your questions. I mean, I'm happy to talk to you about all this.
Thank you. Thank you, Amit sir. Well, really appreciate it and very grateful with you that it seems it will be even a bit earlier than 30 minutes now. Thank you so much. I'm sure that all our participants, the friend took a lot of information from Amit Chowdhury sir. Obviously, we would like to have your more questions, and then I think there'll be more interactive, and this is the reason that he made a shorten his presentation. We are, there are also the few friends in the NMS Facebook, they're on live, and I'm sure that we're trying to collect questions from the Facebook side also. For those who are directly in Zoom, this program connected with us, if you just put your question within a 30-second, I would say, rather raise your hand and just do question directly yourself. I think there'll be more interactive and better way. So
I got one question from Kesar Shrestha. Okay. And Kesar is asking whether there is any other testing body in the world. Yeah. Yes, good question, Kesar. This is very important because there is the other body which is testing equipment is CE, which is you must have seen CE mark on all the equipment. So CE is the one which is for Europe, and in Europe you have to have the CE mark. It is compulsory, but CE is not compulsory in the rest of the world. CE was actually started much later after the UIAA, and when the CE label started, they started by using the UIAA as the base standard. So they were also using the base standard from UIAA in the CE standards. Now CE is very big. CE does for like light bulbs, for TV sets, for laptop, for gardening equipment, for your towel and handkerchief. Everything is covered under CE. But UIAA is the safety level is only for this 21 PPE equipment, personal protection equipment.
Thank you, sir.
How safe is the mountain equipment rented in Himalayan lodges? Is someone checking? So this is it's a very good, Goranji has given this question. I think it's very important that renting equipment, one has to be very careful about. And, like there is a principle called caveat emptor. Meaning of that is that let the buyer beware. That is what people say. But as the person you are renting it, I think if you're renting it for your clients, then it becomes your responsibility. Legally also it becomes your responsibility. Therefore, whenever you're renting the equipment, I think one thing that you have to be careful of is not to rent the old equipment. You can rent old tent, you can rent old sleeping bag or carry mat or rucksack or something like that. But when it comes to rope, firstly, rope you should never rent. Rope, just have your own. You must maintain log of how much your rope. The rope is tested in the laboratory for 8 falls. So 8 times it should hold the fall. 9th time it does not have to hold the fall. So if you're using the rope which has not the rope which has not properly tested, or it has already subjected to some fall, somebody had a big fall on that rope, then you should just throw it away. There was another question. I think I will switch on the chat here. Okay. So this.
Amit sir, would you mind go first with the Binayak J. Mallas? He's one of our instructors too. Anyway, so do you want to read yourself, or you want me just read it? He has a big.
Okay, I think I missed few questions.
Okay.
Okay, you tell me which is the next question I should answer.
Okay. So this is the question I got from Facebook anyway. But the Binayak J. Malla, the avoidable accident continually occur in the Himalayas. In addition to natural hazards, that is avalanche, rockfall, etc., and the lack of knowledge, accidents are frequently connected to the use of equipment that is not certified by UIAA, resulting in serious injuries and even death. In places like Thamel, Pokhara, Delhi, and Leh, fake equipment, that means uncertified, is readily available. Uniformed, often inexperienced climbers use fake equipment, not knowing that it does not meet safety standard because it is often sold at cheaper price. So his question is, what kind of action is the UIAA Safety Commission taking to prevent such avoidable accident and develop the UIAA risk management system? This is his question. It's a bit long. I hope you understood.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, I understood perfectly. So he is absolutely right. I think if you go to the market in Leh or in Thamel or in somewhere in Delhi, you will find all kinds of fake equipment, which is a fact. And so how do we know that which is the fact and which is the fiction? So for this, again, I will tell you that what is so a question is, what is UIA doing about it? Yes. So we have got this, anybody can report to UIA. You can send a mail to UIA, safety label at theuia.org. Okay, I will type it here, safety label at the UIA.org. Okay. Now, if you send this particular mail, if you see some fake equipment being sold, and you send that picture, see firstly, how do you know it is fake? See, you have to ask for documentation. The moment you go to a shop, they are supposed to show you a document which comes along with the equipment. And you must have seen when you go and buy a Jumar or a brand new Jumar or brand new Piton or carabiner, along with that, there is a small booklet kind of thing, correct? So that is a booklet which you have to see, and on the booklet, what we have told the manufacturer is that if it is UIAA certified, then there is a QR code. So you have to take your phone and click that QR code, and it will tell you. It will go to the UIAA page, and it will tell you whether that equipment is the certified one or not. But yes, sometimes you can have even the real fake, in the sense that they have copied that also. Now that is a very difficult situation, and if somebody is found, then I think the only answer is to hand over that person to the police and tell him that this is what is being done. And yes, it can be reported through this email ID that I have given you. It can be reported to the UIA, and it will be put on the website. So there, where we have blacklist, where we have in the UIA website, wherever the blacklist is there, this will be appearing over there, that this equipment are found at so-and-so place, it is blacklisted. But yes, we have to take all legal precautions, because suppose somebody reports, and that is just to maybe to bring down somebody else to bring somebody to disrepute, it may be a false claim. Then that person could come and take a UIA to court. So one has to be really careful with this kind of a thing. But having said that, we do inform the climbing community that this fake equipment is being sold, or this fake equipment is being sold through online sources, etc.
Thank you, Amit sir. Another question is the Pinasa Shepa. His nickname is given himself the Kali. I have a question. With what kind of measures does UIAA check the standard of the PPE? This is his question.
To check the standards. So yes, the standards are, so suppose somebody is manufacturing any kind of PPE, then they have to go to a UIA accredited laboratory to get that equipment tested. So once the equipment is tested in the laboratory, that laboratory will issue a certificate and saying that so-and-so tests are carried out, and these are the results of the test. With that certificate, the application is submitted to UIA, and then the UIA gives out a certificate, which is called the safety label, and it has my signature. It has a signature of the president of the UIA, and that certificate is the one which proves the validity that this is a equipment which has been tested as per the UIAA standards.
Amit sir, the Goran has another question again. Last year, our Nepal porters were underaged and without any PPE. We were more afraid for them than for us. Who is checking guides and porter connecting the concerning PPE? So this is what he has. The Gordon has a question.
So I think, Ul Bahadurji, this is a question for you, not more for you than for me.
This is what I believe. Yeah. Okay. This is. Well, I think. This is very true. The Nepal, in fact, I have to say that sadly, I mean, no matter what, either I call TAN, Trekking Agencies Association of Nepal, or even the Nepal Mountaineering Association, unfortunately, we do not have this sort of provision, making sure that those equipment were the quality equipment. And, also we don't have, even along the way, no matter what, on the trekking or even in the expedition, as well as the peak, the climbing routes, we haven't got, I'll be honest that we haven't got the legends. I mean, some people who are really reconfirming that these equipments are well checked. But this is quite a serious question. In fact, there are also, like I would say, we call the KIF, who provides the trekking equipment for the porters. Sadly say again, most of these are like the used one. So definitely, that's not really any organization making very sure for the guide and porters their equipments are well quality and the good quality, and they provide it from the authorized organizations and all like that one. This question is very serious for me, that one. But definitely I have noted it. I think this is definitely, I would like to talk in our organization also, but I sadly say that we don't have any provisions. Anyway, so friends, if anyone has a question, please. So just either put your question yourself or raise your hand and just write in the chat box. Am I still waiting?
So I'm just putting over here the where you can check certified equipment. This is the URL. I think everybody should copy this and keep this URL, because if you click on this particular you can go to the certified equipment database, and you over here you can check whether the equipment that you are using is a certified one or not.
Okay, we got it.
And this other safety label, this is the one where if you have any question, then you can send this to this particular email ID.
Yes,
these two things, I think, it should be noted by everyone.
Sir, I think, well, I'm waiting a few, more questions from our participants. Our friends. I have a question for you that this is very concerned. Well, I did a few friends who have already did a question to you. Okay, talking about Tamil or some of the Himalayan lodges, there is no standard, there was nobody or no authorized person checking equipment, making it sure this is good quality or safe and all that. When we talk about in Tamil, in Kathmandu, where you know very well, despite UIAA doing such a great job, how the UIAA will do in the future, or if you have any plan, maybe I don't know, these cheaper seller market are controlled, making sure that when the quality equipments are selling. It is very true. Most of the peak climbing in Nepal is everybody looks for cheap and best. This is what they say, best. The first word comes cheap, and of course this is really dangerous. We know well, but after the interaction program or talk program with you, there was a serious question. So would you mind just share, as all over the world, still the fake equipments are selling. When you say equipment, all climbing equipment, that when it does UIA has any provision, or just simply people can complain UIA and they just take action and all like that one? Don't you think it's supposed to be everywhere some sort of like the either signage or talk to the people or any kind of awareness, the information and all that one? Like in Tamil, almost nobody knows. UIA will take action and all like that one. There are so many people selling. When I say fake equipment, I don't know, maybe this is a bit bad word, but definitely not the very, the branded equipment and all that one. Could you share us?
Uncertified equipment.
Uncertified equipment. I think that's the good word. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. So I think this is a big problem, and UIA being an international organization. And it's not always possible to do any kind of policing. It is only possible to create awareness amongst our climbing community, and our climbing community being very, very quick and aware about all the various technologies available. I think they are very quick in getting back to us wherever something like this is reported. I know for certain that we get many requests from many reports from India, and whenever we have got any report, then we have taken action. Action by, let us say, writing to the whichever is the sports organization there, or like, for example, if some incident is happening in Nepal, in Kathmandu, where somebody is selling fake equipment, and if that information is given by a climber, that this fake equipment is being sold, then the report is given to the like NMA is the organization that is informed. Suppose it happens in Thailand or in Singapore or something, then it is or in Hong Kong, then the local federation is informed. So the local federation really has to take some action. And since all federations, all the states federations are all part of the UIAA, UIAA doesn't exist if the country federation is not there. There's no meaning of UIAA without all the federations from the various countries. So the federations being very much part of the UIAA organization, they take whatever action is possible. The biggest and the most important action that can be done is if you put all these things in the Facebook, and you are all the climbers, all the trekking guides, all the equipment organizers, all the expedition organizers, they read it, then they immediately become aware. Okay, don't stay away from this particular equipment. So awareness, creating that awareness today is not a big deal. I mean, you just put something on Facebook and everybody knows the next day. So I think to expect that the UIAA will have some other method of checking or taking action, I think is a little difficult. It will only come through awareness. It will only come by the community themselves participating in spreading that particular news, or that that this fake equipment or uncertified equipment is being sold or traded. So it is very much a community effort. It's not a top-down thing. It's more of bottom-up.
Okay, Amit sir. Okay. I have another question. It's again from Goran there. I have this question there. The Chinese Mountain Federation should talk with the AliExpress because the AliExpress is selling and delivering uncertified PPE. UIAA should react to. So are you willing? Are you aware about this question? I mean, about this,
No, so I haven't heard that AliExpress. You're talking about, Jack Ma's company.
Yeah.
I haven't personally heard about this, but if you have any specific, any specific equipment which you feel that is uncertified, which is being sold and delivered by AliExpress, then please bring it to our notice. We have got lobbying groups all over the world. If we give this information to Chinese Mountaineering Federation, they will immediately act. But we need that information, and we need that specific case, that so-and-so equipment under so-and-so, where it is appearing, some screenshots, some item number, all those things, if can be sent to us, certainly we will take action.
Okay. So friends, if anyone has a question, we have about like 10 more minutes, and then we can wrap up the program today. So, okay, Kesarji, go ahead. Yeah, I'm going to unmute you and just, you do question. Try to excuse your question as short as possible. Kesarji, go ahead.
Amit sir, I have a short question about the equipment. How long what is the lifespan of the UIAA tested equipment? I can give you a short background. why I'm asking these questions. It's working as a mountain guide in Nepal. I got a couple of my client come with a looks like very brand new equipment, but they're telling like my father just brought it and he used a couple of times and they just store onto the store, and I'm just using this, and it can be like 10, 15 years old, can be more than that. So looks like brand new still. Is that still works well, or is it? What do you think?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. You know, we had this question before, and somebody wrote to us that, you know, something could be lying in a shop. Even some equipment could be lying in a shop for 15 years, or maybe it should be lying in a shop for 5 years. And then suddenly somebody walks in and he buys it, and he says, okay, now I am buying this new equipment which has been lying in the shop for 5 years, and the life starts now. But no, it has already started 5 years back. So actually the answer to this question is that in what condition it has been stored. Now, if you are storing it in a very, like with less humidity, in a cold condition, not very warm condition, not very cold, but the room temperature, 20 degrees centigrade, and then the equipment will probably last for a very long time. But if you are storing it in, let's say, in the attic, where the temperature can sometimes reach 40, 50 degrees centigrade, and then you suddenly bring and use it, then even in 2 years, you might find the equipment deterioration. So I think the answer to this is that how much, how you are storing the equipment, not what it looks like. And therefore, it's important that every equipment, especially PPE, like ropes, etc., comes with some kind of a usage record. And the moment at least you get it, you start making a usage record of it. That how much have you used it? Have you had any falls on it, etc. UIAA standard does not specify life. The life is specified by the manufacturer. UIAA standard only certifies at the time of it being sold whether it is meeting the standard or not. The life is specified by the manufacturer. So sometimes in the equipment, they do mention life, but it's more important that, through our own experience, we can look at a particular gear and make out, how well it has been maintained. The rope, it should not have any kind of hardness inside. All those things, we know exactly how to see the quality of a rope. So I think we should, irrespective of how old it is or where it is source has come out, carrying out those checks is very important. If you have got, let's say, 5 ropes, then there is no harm in maybe sending one of these ropes for pull test in a laboratory, some kind of a test, or even trying to load it, maybe load it to a certain what you call force, and see whether it is taking the load or not. Retesting of that equipment, if you are getting a lot of equipment and somebody tells you that this has been lying in my store for 5 years or 10 years, then it's important that you do some kind of destructive testing of that particular sample. Okay.
All right. So, friends, if anyone has a question, please raise your hand and or just write us question. Okay. Amit sir, I hope this is a question from Dawaji. Hello sir, this is me, Dawa Tashi Sherpa. I have a question. As we know, Nepal is known as a mountain country. That means there are so many different countries. People come to Nepal for trekking and climbing. That means they definitely use PPE. For sure, I will accept that some of the guides are not educated enough to handle situation. But we can see so many clients are also asking cheaper gear for one-time use in Nepal. So many questions is Nepal. So my question is, can UIAA set a group of people in Nepal coordinating with some organizations like NMA, NMJ, or NMLA to take care of the risks? This is a question.
So I think we're already doing that to a certain extent. So as far as you have got Steve Long and the training panel has been conducting training programs, and they are constantly, we interact very closely with the training panel as far as equipment is concerned. So I think this is something which is already being done. Kul Bahadur ji, you will be able to tell us that whether the training panel, Steve Long, when he organizes the training, guides training, etc., whether some kind of interaction is there on the equipment part. Otherwise, this is a good question. I think we can, if Mr. Kul Bahadur, next time you can make a note of this question, and we can, think of setting up some kind of monitoring, because I think the maximum misuse of equipment is happening in our Asian countries. In the European countries, people are they are very careful. They don't use any cheaper kind of gear. But this is a very interesting question that people also climbing from Western countries are asking for cheaper gear. This is quite surprising. I am quite surprised at this. I think Kul Bahadur ji, I think if you take the initiative, then we can take this point. This is a very important point, and I think we can take this point as one of the points of discussion in the next Safety Commission meeting, whether we can have some kind of organization inside of Nepal which is actually looking into the kind of gear that is being sold and used in Nepal, and we can give them some support, some kind of help in carrying out any tests or carrying out any documentation of this equipment. Then it will be very, very good for the safety of our clients.
Yeah. Well, Amit sir, I was supposed to ask this question too anyway. Yeah, last time he was the second last. As even I mentioned that today is the 7th episode of this Zoom talk program, and the last time was Steve Long. In fact, also we have a lot of our climbers and the instructor also, they had participated, and we had a question too. And my question was to him the same. Yes, he also a few times mentioned that he has been coordinating with some of our instructors, which obviously understand maybe they are NMGA, that means Nepal National Mountain Guide Associations, and possibly even the Nepal Mountaineering Instructor Association. But I don't mean any interfere, but my concern was, can we do through one door system, through the Nepal Mountaineering Association, so that we know. And obviously, no matter what, NMJA, NMIA, even right now, what the Mr. Dawa mentioned, that the NMLA, Nepal Mountaineering, the Mountain Leaders, the association. This is what I believe, KSOJ and the NMLA. So, we can, so at least enemy knows, then we can share our knowledge, or even all our instructor put together, or even organization who can do, so that also we put in enemies, this sort of training or interaction schedule that is happening. So again, as I say that I'm not really comparing, or I'm not complaining. If anything happening in NMJ, maybe either we didn't ask or they didn't share, that we didn't know. That was the problem. That's why I was a bit quiet. Even today, the same question. I mean, the NMA will be more than happy to put all our instructor association together and share the question, share the knowledge. I mean, even I request you, maybe in the coming days, whatever years that you will be the president of a safety commission, let's do sometime a little bit interaction program whenever you have a little bit time and share skills and knowledge. And of course, we can always put them together so that, we also feel like something happening. And this will be kind of like very good awareness program also. Either in off season we do, even just before the expedition start, on behalf of UIA, if you just could help us, it will be very useful in all that one. And yes, Mr. I have noted your question. And of course, if you just do talk in the safety commission meeting, please, remember the NMA will be more than happy to initiate and this knowledge share our instructors and all that one. I think I have okay, I think I have another question again here. Okay. So I got the one question from the Facebook page. So it says that one, okay, that's, it's a little bit difficult to read the name, but say that one, well, Nepal is always the best and the most popular destination for mountaineering. Does UIA has any kind of program about the safety matters in the coming days? This is the question. I don't think you have, do you have any program or any plan?
No, so we have, I think, the plan has to come from the federation.
Okay.
And if the plan comes from the federation, I think we'll be more than happy to sort of create any kind of support. And I am quite close now, hopefully, with all this COVID thing getting over in next 4, 5, 6 months. Maybe it will be possible also to travel to Kathmandu and, we could, I'm so close to you, we could easily, have more interaction and, find some method of sharing all this information and getting all the, feedback and all other programs. But I think some program is already happening through the Mountain Guides Association and NMLA and all that, which is something which I think is a very good initiative. And I think we should all encourage it to the extent possible. If any other specific plan or program or some kind of proposal is there from NMA, we'll be happy, I think, very happy to look at it.
Thank you, Amisha. Yeah, I mean, of course, it's always whatever NMJ and AMLA has been initiating and for their, the concerned training program and all that one, it's always good. But again, as I say, there one, through the NMA, we would like to take more benefits our climbers or our instructors. I have noted that well, and I personally will write you email also. And of course, we both will talk. And of course, if you just after the post-COVID, after COVID-19, if you sometime visit Nepal, let me know. And if there's no mountain activities in the coming days because of the COVID, we'd like to, let it happen. This kind of like refreshing training and the awareness program and all that one, that anime will initiate anyway. So friends, we have about like 3 more minutes. Well, it's almost 1 hour. So if anyone has a question, please just raise your hand and do question. Otherwise, I'll just try to wrap up the closed program today. Question छ भने साथीहरुले मलाई question गरिदिनु होला. If not, okay, so there's no question anyway. So, well, Amit sir, thank you so much once again, and it's really the great opportunity for anime anyway. So I'm sorry, I did cancel your program, the store program for almost 3 weeks because of this COVID and lockdown things and all that. And I was trying to put together you and the Mr. Peter as sharing an email, but he couldn't join. Maybe he's busy and all that one. For sure, with this lockdown period, that we're trying to bring more international climbers, as well as the few more the climbers also, and medical doctors also who are associated with the expeditions and all that one. And we want to make sure all our climbers are really aware, and also they get a good knowledge and they benefited for this one. And I just say that one. I also quickly would like to share you. And the first episode was by the Tulsing Gurung, our instructor, and also the coordinator of a training committee in NMA, and the Maya Sherpa, the second vice president, and also the president of Everest Summiters Association. And we have also the Department of Tourism, the Director General Danduraj Gimire, and the Chiring Pande Bote, and the Captain Siddhartha Guru, who are really rescue specialists. They also joined with us. Dr. Nima Namgyal also, who also here and in the group, the medical doctor, of course, is the veteran climber also. And they still belong away, then you're the one here. So I do promise again, I will carry on this program, possibly every Saturday. Let's see, before we start the season. And Amit sir, thank you so much. And kindly share these boys in your safety commission meeting also. We try to be as close as possible with the UIAA, and with the many reasons, as we both are close, you're close with the enemy also. I would like to request in the coming days also share your knowledge and the love of our mountaineers also. And I say that will make sure that our climbers are easily looking to have more knowledge from UIA also. And I know being this lockdown period, there so many, and the other friends could not join. Also being the weekend anyway. Hopefully next time we get more participants. I would really would like to thank you. Let me just quickly share if there's one also. I think the Dawaji has another question again. I have another question related to PPE. So many people from different countries come with rope and other stuff. And once they finish their trip, and they will sell in Nepal. So do UIA have some device to check it out?
No. So you see, once there is no rule, or there is no kind of law that prohibits people to sell the used equipment. So you can always sell used equipment. The only thing is that you have to personally check what is the quality of the equipment is. And, as informed instructors and well-informed guides, well-informed equipment, this expedition organizers, I think we should ourselves be very careful of not buying the old equipment. Even if we are saving a little bit of money on that, don't buy old equipment. If you're using the equipment on the mountain, you don't know in what condition it has been used. PPE you should not buy. That's what my advice is. Don't buy old equipment which is used for PPE. You can use, you can buy the rope and maybe tie some cow or something like that with it, but not for climbing. Don't do it. that would be my advice for you.
Okay, Amisha. All right, I think, well, seems like your friends don't have, well, everyone just sharing me, thank you. I'm sure they say about an hour is good enough for everybody anyway. So, Amisha, once again, thank you so much, and hope to see you back again. And once again, on behalf of all participants, I'm very bad man that I have done that all mic the mute, but I'm sure that all our participants or mountain lovers, they really share their gratitude. Thank you once again, and it's a great privilege and honor to me that you give a time today, and it's really the informative, and we got a lot of information from you. And I'm sure this is not will be probably not will be our last Zoom call. We try to join again, and thank you sir once again. Okay, on behalf of Anime, thank you everyone. All right, so well at the end anyway.
Dhanyavad Dinchu, or give me some other opportunity again. Thank you very much. I really will love to come and meet you personally sometime whenever this whole thing is over. But thanks for all the time, and hope to see you again.
Thank you, Misha. And once again, everyone, stay home, stay safe, and no doubt, let's save the mountain tourism, mountain workers, our climbers, and the mountain tourism too. And have a good evening, everyone. Thank you. And I say goodbye for the moment. Thank you.
Oh, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.